So to go back to your question, what is the value of the case? That case is probably worth $100,000, uh, on the high end. Um, so I just, you know, I'd probably have to ask her 100,000 to process it because property cases are. Yeah, there you go. There you go, K-Rob, not for me. That ain't enough for me to get in. 'Cause they are a pain in the ass, and you probably know this, they're just a pain in the ass. She's already got her survey, so I don't have to worry about that. She's got a reputable survey, so that's good, and it's new. Well, I know that builder, I know that contractor. He would not have done that, but see, it's not up to contractor to know where the boundary is. The person you work for should know it. So the health department. Well, you would think that, but no, contractors, they ain't got time to be doing surveying. That's not what they do. They're not really liable to a certain degree. I mean, they're going to be involved in a lawsuit, but they were just doing what they were paid to do. So the health department has a shit ton of liability, but it ain't worth much money. To a lawyer, that ain't worth my time. I mean, it's not worth my time and energy to do that. I mean, I'd have to ask her for a ridiculous amount of money, you know. Now, if I wanted to ask her $150,000, $150,000, I'd probably do it, but I couldn't even ask her for that kind of money. No, no, it's just that I value my time. I like hard cases. Cities are really hard to sue for slip and falls. Suing a municipality is very hard to do. They have very, restrictive time frames. If you're trying to sue a city, it's really tough. Any municipality, they have a lot of rules that keep out a lot of lawsuits. Some cities have a 90. What's up, Cody? Hey, Cody, I believe, they should have issued that check. I'm gonna call on them this morning. They had to issue it twice. So they issued it once. They had the wrong EIN number, so they had to issue another one. Yeah, pothole damage. Good luck. Just drive safely. So hopefully, Cody, we'll get that lined out today, I hope. And of course, it's State Farm. State Farm is a pain in the ass. And so this health department case, any kind of property cases are difficult. I mean, I do them. I've done them, but I want to get paid well for it. I had a about 15 years ago, 20 years, maybe 15. Old dude came into my office. He was old. He was like at the time he was 79. He had came into my office and he had a boundary dispute with his first cousin. His first cousin was 82, and they'd been fighting for 20 years over this little hunk of ground. I promise you, I'm not shitting you. It was probably 5 feet wide, and it went up a hill for about 150 yards. So the strip of ground wasn't very big. My client had built this $12,000 fence that went up the hillside, really nice fence. His cousin sued him because claimed that he was on his boundary because they had been feuding over this piece of ground forever. And I promise you, it wasn't no more than 10 feet wide, about 150 feet, 150 yards long. It went right straight up to the top of the hill. So my client came in and there's something called adverse possession. They're fun cases. They're interesting cases. And so when I looked at what my client had done, basically, he put that fence up there. It'd been up there for a while, but before he built that fancy fence, he had another fence that tracked up the same area. So I was claiming on behalf of my client that my client actually owned that piece of ground through a concept called adverse possession. Look it up when you get time, look it up. Adverse possession. So I was claiming that my client actually owned it through adverse possession. And I told my client it's hard to, you know, they're difficult cases, but I thought his met all of the statutory requirements. So I told my client, I said, now you might, you might be forced to take this fence down if if the judge, it was a judge case. No, it was a jury case. We had a jury trial. And so I pushed the judge, which they don't like to do. I pushed the judge to give me to let the jury go on the property and look at it and see exactly what was going on. Well, there were 3 surveys. I had one. There was an old survey, and the client had a survey. So there were 3 surveys. One showed that the other guy's property line was right. Mine, of course, showed that my property line was correct and it tracked the fence. The other survey, the older survey, almost split that property down the middle. So we did, the jury went out to the ground, and I could tell when we did jury. Now, this is kind of getting a little bit in the weeds, but I won't bore you. We had to do jury instructions. We finished our trial. We had to do jury instructions, and I argued for a particular a question or two that should be in those instructions. The judge didn't see it my way. He fashioned his own jury instructions, which I didn't like. I by the jury instructions, I did not feel very good about my case. And plus there was that third survey, which basically meandered up the hill and it basically split, right? I told my client, I said, I said, I don't feel good about this. I said, we should, because they had made us an offer right before trial. And I told my client, I said, we probably ought to take that. The dude was going to allow us to keep our fence, but he was going to take the bottom part of the ground, not the hillside, but the bottom part. There was a like a little tiny parking lot. He wanted to take that parking lot. My client didn't want to do that. So they were both, they hated each other. They'd been fighting forever. So my client didn't take it. But so let's back up to my initial point. When lawyers do these kind of cases, they give you the I don't give a shit prize, right? A lot of times, if you don't do family law and you're a lawyer, you don't do family law. But if someone throws enough money at you, you'll do a divorce, right? Most lawyers don't like property. They hate property cases because they don't pay well, they're difficult, and people fight like cats and dogs. You can't make anybody happy in a property case. You just can't. You can't make everybody happy. So you have this price in your head that you don't really want to do it, but you'll do it for enough money. So this old man came into me with this case, this property case. And I love adverse possession. As a lawyer, if you like the law, they're very interesting cases. They're fun to put together and it's kind of cool. So for that fact alone, I liked it. But I just didn't want to go through the drudgery of the case. So he came in, told me, and so I gave him the crazy I don't give a fuck number, right? I gave him the number that I didn't think he would be able to give me, right? So I quoted him. I it it was I think it was about $25,000. I quoted him. I explained to him. I said these cases are difficult. I'm gonna have to get us another survey. Blah 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 blah. They take a long time. We're going to be living with this thing for a year and a half at least. I said, this is my price. I said, it's going to take so many hours. And so I did the math for him because I can evaluate a case fairly well. And he said, okay. He turned around, left. The next day, the very next day, totally, I had got it out of my mind. I thought, cool, this guy's not coming back. I don't have to fool with this case. Oh my God. Next day, $25,000 cash he had in a bag, and he counted it. Ah, so he laid that money on my desk, and I thought, shit, I got to do this case. So I did the case, and I explained to him everything along the way. But while you're in trial, I just didn't feel good about it, especially with that other survey and with those jury instructions. And I told my client, I said, "Man, I don't feel good about this." So when the jury came back, right before the jury came back, I just had this bad feeling that the jury was going to take that middle survey because jurors they didn't want to kick this old guy out of his house, which is really what we were almost asking. Our property line went right down the corner of this dude's house, like right on the corner. And I said, I don't think a jury is going to want to do that. He said, well, yeah, let's go. We're paying for trial. So by God, I want trial. So okay, all right. So I did it. And I thought I tried it was a good case. I thought I tried it well. I laid out everything. So guess what they did? They came back and they took that middle survey. So my client, as soon as the jury gave that verdict or rendered their decision, he turned to me and he said, do you reckon I'll get to keep my fence? And I said, no, that dude's gonna make you tear that fence down. Cause he was I guess the gravity didn't hit him until they said that, and he still didn't understand. And I felt bad for him. But so that's why lawyers generally don't like property cases. But I knew when I saw that third survey, I thought, okay, the jury's going to take the easy way out. And that's what they did. They took the easy way out because they didn't want to offend anybody. And so I felt bad for my client. He'd spent all that money when he could have made a deal. I mean, I had a negotiated settlement. Me and the other lawyer negotiated a pretty good settlement. My client had to give up some of that ground level, but he got to keep his fence. No, no, he was all or nothing, man, balls to the wall. And when you go balls to the wall, sometimes you end up with goose eggs. But props to the old dude. But him and his first cousin fought over that ground for 25, 30 years. And, that's depressing too, because it wasn't enough property to do anything with. 95% of it was hillside. But that old dude no, he had to tear that fence down. That old dude was about principle, and he paid for principle, and as an aside, I'm gonna tell you what this guy did for a living. He serviced pop machines. So he had a little tiny vending business, and he made a shit ton of money. I mean, no telling how much cash he had squirreled away in his house, but he sure enough laid down 25,000 right there on my desk. All Benjamins. Uh, I was so uneasy about it. I asked him to accompany me to the bank, and I walked that money down to the bank. Dude made some serious cash doing those pop machines. Because I asked him, I said, "What do you do for a living?" He said, "I've had a pop machine business." And he didn't look like, if you looked at that old dude, you wouldn't have thought he had two nickels to rub together. Eric, I am a lawyer. Sorry that you don't think so, but I don't really care what you think. So anyway, that was my I don't care prize. And by God, he throwed it right on me. And so I felt obligated to take it because I gave him a prize. I love you, Eric. You complete me. Oh, that dude. Well, now, so I think he saved money. I agree. So K Rob, so I'm going to call this client, and she's probably not going to take that deal. They gave her, I think, $10,000. Going to put, I can't remember. I have to relook at the deal. I think it's $10,000. Put the wall back. You know, I thought it was a fair deal under circumstance because she's not going to get much more. No, it ain't frustrating. I mean, it is because I try to do the best for them, and when they don't see that, like my goal, my job, she paid me a good amount of money to negotiate this because none of them was talking before I get in the case. They were all pissed off. My client was, she's an old lady. She don't like the government, and she's very suspicious of everybody. She got a lot of money, and so my job was to do what I'm doing. Get get the deal, uh, talk to everybody, fashion a settlement. Now, whether she takes it or not, I don't care. I've already explained to her I can't litigate her case. I told her I'm my practice has gone another direction, and I don't have well, I've got the energy, but I just don't wanna do it. I just don't wanna do it. I can do it. I could probably get her some money, but it wouldn't be worth my mental energy. I wouldn't want to do it. So she's probably not going to take that deal. I will be surprised if she takes it because, so I'm going to call her as soon as I finish eating here. Yeah, she should take the deal, but she's stubborn. So, you know, real life, Lisa, thank you. Yeah, I thought about doing that, K-Rob, but then there's sometimes, people throw that damn money on you. Yeah, they are, but some of these cases that I have now that go on, I got into them for different reasons. It wasn't the money. It was, family, friends, just trying to help, and I don't regret it, but, it eats up your energy. It does. I mean, it eats you up. But I mean, I've yeah, that's true, K-Rob. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. I don't make a lot of mistakes when I take a case. And these cases that I took are not mistakes. Like this old lady's case with the property, I'm not obligated to take the case. I'm just working the deal. And it didn't took me 4 or 5 hours to work this deal. And she paid me very well for it. Um, and that property case and and that other property case, I valued it well. I got paid well, but I don't even wanna do those anymore. I don't know what you mean. Yeah, semi-retired. Yeah, and an interesting thing about that, every time I try to semi-retire, I find more work. I mean, y I have said I'll be 65 on my birthday. In the past 15 years, I have told my wife, "I'm gonna scale back. I'm gonna try to relax and do less," and I wind up doing more. Uh, like we're gonna I need to stick to the things that I do well and that I enjoy, but I enjoy the law. I write We're getting ready to write some grants into the fall. I really enjoy grant writing. So, I'm gonna focus on my social media stuff, automobile accident, and grant writing. That's where I'm gonna stay, I think. No, I'm not a workaholic. Someone has asked at least 3 times in the chat, "Are you required to put an interlock device in your vehicle?" First off, I don't know what your question is. You're making a statement. You say, "Are you required to put an interlock device in your car if you choose to wait out?" The only way you're required to put an interlock device in your car is if there's a court order. If there's a court order, then you've gotta put the damn thing. Normally, that interlock device is negotiated in a case, right? If you negotiated putting on a, interlock device, then you have to. So I don't know what your question is, but those things are negotiated usually. Usually a prosecutor will tell you they'll give you a deal if you do that. I don't know what your case is about. But if you have a court order that says you've gotta do it, then my God, you gotta do it. Guys, thank you for the chat. Look in. My name is Eugene. I promise you I am an attorney. I'm a substance use and addiction counselor. I do a fair amount of stuff. I'm doing primarily automobile accidents, believe it or not. If you have an automobile accident, I only get 20% when I settle. That's it. I'm also associated with the Mark Lanier Law Firm. We do a lot. I'm handling a lot of things for them whenever we find a client. I'm mostly looking for clients that have been involved with asbestos exposure, asbestos cancer, asbestos related cancer, mesothelioma. And if you've been diagnosed with silicosis, maybe you worked around some rock dust, silicosis, or guys, if you've been taking Wegovy or Ozempic, or you know somebody's been taking it and their vision has gotten bad, first off, tell them to get their eyes checked. Get checked for a condition called NION. And if you haven't, holler at me. We would be tickled to death to help you. Silicosis, asbestos related cancer. The Mark Lanier Law Firm, and Mark Lanier specifically, they are the GOAT when it comes to asbestos litigation. So holler at me. I would be honored to help you. The Mark Lanier Law Firm would be pleased to help you get every penny you're entitled. Take a look at that. So take a look at it and holler at me. If you know someone that has those issues, again, automobile accidents, 20%. Thanks for the follow. Guys, if you just now followed me, tell me where you're from. If you just now subscribed over here on the YT, subscribe, hit those notifications, Facebook. Let me know what you think, guys. Thank you all. So I'm getting ready to call my client here in a minute. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, George. You got it. Thank, thank you, North Carolina. I appreciate it. Hoosier. Someone in the chat is one of these sovereigns, I guess. Underdog. I love it. Where is Sweet Polly Purebred? So someone wants to know if I have a duty of loyalty to the court. I have a duty of candor. I don't have any duty to the court. I got a duty of candor. I can't lie to the court. Can't lie. I can't on purpose bring a case that I think is fraudulent, but my loyalty runs to my client. But I do have a duty not to lie to the court. So whoever we got a sovereign. Ask about the mold. If you give me a minute, let me call my client, the mold person. You can call and I'll talk to you about mold. That's a big issue. Get a lot of people in the chat to talk about mold. Give me, give me, give me about 10 minutes. You can call me in about 10 minutes. Whatever. Sound like a sovereign citizen question. My loyalty is to my client, but I cannot lie to the court. You're not supposed to bring anything that's fraudulent. I can't put a client on the stand if I know that client's going to lie. That's why you should never ask your client if they did what they're accused of. You never ask that question. Oh, I am an ambulance chaser. Thank you. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, that's me. And you just called me a 2-bit liar. Damn it. I'm a 10-bit liar. Stop it. Give me some credit. I ain't no 2-bit liar here. And damn, you are throwing shade on my lying ability. You're throwing some shade. You're not giving me credit for my give me some credit. A 2-bit liar. That's bullshit. I'm a 10-bit liar. Thank you very much. I love it. Yeah, some interesting things about the Guthrie case. We'll talk about that in a minute. Someone asked me, the sheriff, what that sheriff did yesterday. Well, I'll talk about that. I'm gonna post a TikTok. It's real serious if someone lies. But just because someone gets up there and tells a little white lie, that's not a big deal. Whenever someone commits perjury, it has to be about a material fact. A material fact. I can go to Alabama if you won't pay me. Guys, tap, share, follow. Guys, y'all got to follow me if you're looking in, you're not a follower. Take a look at my merchandise, guys. You might love a cup. Look here, guys. I ain't shitting you. Take a look at my stuff. All kinds of interesting things you probably want to get. Look at my books. Um, and if you have an issue, you got your ass in the crack, you can book a call. But mostly, guys, listen, all y'all know people. Everybody here knows people, right? If you had an automobile accident, you know somebody, tell them you got this lawyer friend who will do your case for 20%. You can't beat that. If you're in a wreck and you were hurt, if there's insurance, if you've got the police report, I'm your guy. 20%. Most lawyers now are taking 40%, sometimes 50. I'm doing some work. Take a look at the sticker. I'm doing some work for the Mark Lanier Law Firm. And do yourself a favor. Look at his website. Look at his page. Mark Lanier, look at it. And if you ain't impressed, I can't help you. I can't help you. And if you have any one of these things, asbestos related cancer, mesothelioma, silicosis, there you go, Austin. Before I call this lady, I'm going to step out here, turn on my. This Eugene. Please do not hang up. Please do not hang up. I hung up. I'm going to heat me some water. Hold on. All right, guys. Come on now. Y'all got to get some you know, I'm waiting for my water to boil. I look at a lot of TikTok and YouTube and stuff late at night just to see. And I saw this guy and I like his content. He cusses a lot. The older millennial. And the last couple of evenings when I watch him, and I think he has a drinking problem. And it's very sad. He's a talented guy for what he does. He's a good content creator. He's a very sharp mind and he's a good debater. And the last couple of nights I've watched him, he sits there with a drink and he gets absolutely sloshed while he's live, and he can't hardly talk, and he's very sad. And I'm a wondering, does he not I wonder I just did I sent him a message, and I know this usually when I look in on him, he has a lot of followers, but when I look in on his lives, it's usually around 180 to 250 people. It depends on what he's got going on. And it's just very sad to see him do that. So, it's, I don't go after truck drivers. Who you talking about? No, it's the older millennial, I think. I think that's his name, older millennial. He's a burly guy with a beard, and he cusses incessantly and just F-bomb, 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 which I don't particularly care for, but the essence of his content's pretty good. He's usually spot on with his analysis. He's good analysis, but he just gets every night, he just the last couple nights, it's very sad. He can't hardly he gets where his speech is slurred. Oh, yeah, it's very sad because he's really talented, and he sat there. I watched him over a course of a because I didn't watch him a lot. I was dipping in and out of his live and just kinda looking. I try to make whatever I do better, but there's absolutely nobody that does what I do, so I'm trying to find ways to make my live better and build my following. I mean, I like what I do, and I think people could benefit, but so I dipped in and out over the course of a couple of hours, and he just got hammered. And it was very sad. He got to where he could not hardly talk, and it was very because I wouldn't be upset or worried if it was one time, but I've noticed him do that over the past 6 months or so when I've watched. He has a little drink cup, and I don't know what his drink of choice is, but it's a clear liquid because the glass is clear. It's clear, and he just, um, but I look for ways to make mine stuff better. I don't know his name, but they calls himself the older millennial. He has a DUI and stuff, so he has a history. He talks about it. He had a DUI, and there might have been some domestic issues, um, but certainly he's had a DUI, and he just gets hammered, and because he's good at what he does. He's on TT. A breach of contract? No, I don't like him because he's MAGA. I like him because he's good at what he does. So, see, and whoever made that comment, so whoever made that comment, do I like him because he's MAGA? If you, whoever made that comment, I don't know who you are, but what a shitty world you must live in your head if you look at everything through that lens. I like him because he's good at what he does. He's good at analysis. He's good at getting people's attention. He's good at expressing his point of view. That's what I like. I don't always agree with everybody that I look at, but I can appreciate what they do and how they do it. So if you're constantly looking at shit through a political lens, I feel bad for you. I really feel bad for you when you can't look at someone and appreciate what they do. You don't have to like what they do, but appreciate the way they do it. You got a problem. But I do like him. So, you know, what a horrible world you live in if that's your measuring stick. What a shitty brain you got going on in there if that's why you filter stuff. I hope you don't choose your doctors that way. That would suck. No, I like what he does. I appreciate how he does it. And so I'm always trying to look for people who I can learn from. He's very good. And I would just comment and I feel bad for him. So let's talk. Someone wanted to know how they can find a lawyer in Cleveland. The best way to find a lawyer, go to the courthouse. If you're looking for a family lawyer, you got a family court case, go to your local courthouse and look at the family court docket and just sit down and look at the lawyers. When there's a criminal trial, go into criminal courtroom and sit down and look at the lawyers. Look how they behave. Look how the office staff treat them. Look how the judge treats them. Look how they handle their client. A breach of contracts are easy cases. Most any lawyer that handles any kind of general practice can do breach of contract. Those are my favorite kinds of cases. Is breach of contract. I love them. So I'm going to call my client. I like breach of contracts. I'm actually quite good at contracts. I will brag a little bit. In law school. I was got the award for top in my. I can talk to you. I can talk to you about your Ohio case. That's what I do here. If you want to book a call, I'd be happy to talk to you about your case. But you'd have to book a call, Deneen. So here we go. Megan, I already called Megan. You gotta book a call, Deneen. Go to my profile, click on my picture. When you click on that little paper clip, I can't say that word because they get mad. Click on that paper clip, at about the fifth button down, you'll see a button that says book a call. Well, let me tell you what, smart ass. I'm gonna give you a little tip. Yeah, if you want to find a local attorney, that's exactly what you do. The internet is the worst place to find a lawyer. So there you go, wise guy. You're welcome. Yes, you go into the courthouse and you look and you listen. That's the best way to get a local lawyer. You have to invest a little time. The internet's not the best place. Smart guy. I like it when smart people come in here and try to be smart. It always cracks me up when smart people try to be smart. Cracks me up. You're looking to see you're looking to see you're not necessarily looking for how they know the law because you're not going to know that really. But there's a lot of things about being a lawyer that are not related to the law. How the judge treats them. You'll know a good lawyer from a bad lawyer. You see a judge treat a lawyer with a little disrespect, it's not probably not a good lawyer. But you see everybody in the courtroom pay attention to the lawyer. You see the way they handle their client. You see the way they speak to the court. You see the way that they're organized. All of those things make a difference when you hire a lawyer. So when you go see them, you'll see how many clients they have, how many people's in that courtroom for them. That's what you do.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Miss Betty, this is Eugene. Give me a call, and I apologize for the delay. Let's talk a little bit about this settlement. Just got a call this morning from uh, the lawyer on the other side, or one of the lawyers. There's two of them on the other side, and they want to know the status. And so, won't you give me a holler here in the next little bit? I'm going to be out at about a little bit after 11. So give me a call and we'll talk about it and see what your decision is. You know my number. Just give me a holler. Thank you. So, all right. My shuttle guy called me or messaged me. Shit. Ah, the guy I usually get to shuttle us from the hotel is busy that day. Damn it. Son of a bitch. I wanted to catch up with him. He's a good guy. Dag nabbit. So I'll have to remember to tell Marianne. Marianne will be my shuttle. I just would rather get somebody else. Yeah. Somebody struggling. Oh my God. Mr. Cash. Yeah, it's pretty back there. What an asshole. How do Okay, Nan hey, somebody if I've got a mod in here, get rid of this guy if you don't care and report him. 'Cause it's I mean, what an asshole. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard for me to do it with my vision. I'm usually not fast enough. By the time I do it, they've already spammed 50 people in here, and I don't like it. So the Guthrie case, little interesting development, and pay attention. So, the sheriff came out and said that nobody in the family was that they were exonerated. That's bullshit. First off, that's bullshit. He should know that you cannot exclude any family members. They don't even know who did it, right? They don't know if someone they don't know if someone in the family didn't leave a door open or didn't give access. They don't know. That sheriff doesn't know any of that. That sheriff At this point, that sheriff is acting like a politician. He was acting like a politician when this case first started. He thought he was going to get some limelight, and he was incompetent. He is incompetent. He stuck his foot in a big pile of shit, went in there and contaminated all of the evidence in that place. So that sheriff right now, you can't believe anything that comes out of his mouth. 'Cause he is now a politician. When he come out and make that statement the way that he made it is totally inappropriate. No, he's pitiful. So No, there was no sign of forced entry, which tells you something, right? If there was no forced entry, that almost tells me that someone let him in, or she had the door unlocked, which doesn't make sense to me. So if someone left the door open but that sheriff, it was inappropriate. Yeah, it was inappropriate. So, that sheriff is a politician now. Come on, guys, tap, share, and follow. I don't know where my glasses are. Come on, guys. Yeah, yeah, apparently there's no forced entry. So either someone let them in or someone left the door open, left it unlocked or something. There's something. Yeah, but that sheriff is a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit politician who has screwed up this case. If they can't find that old lady, it rests on the doorstep of that sheriff. He can't possibly know that the family is guilt-free. I mean, because the case isn't over yet. They haven't collected any evidence really, and you cannot exonerate anybody until you know the facts. And for him to do that, that was a political move. That's all that was, just politics. No, I don't think he's covering it up. That would to cover it up would imply that he's part of some type of conspiracy, and I don't think he's smart enough to do that. I think right now he's just trying to cover his ass. That's all he's doing. He's looking for sympathy. Who knows? But he's a two-bit politician. He's not a law enforcement officer. He's a politician. So Yeah. Well, that's evident. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a, uh I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but, you know, conspiracies are hard, and when I get a lot of conspiracy wackos in here in my chat. Conspiracies are hard to pull off. It ain't easy to pull off a conspiracy. It ain't. It requires a lot of people, a lot of loyal people, and it's hard to do a conspiracy. Too many moving parts. It almost never works out. And so you get all these conspiracies and they create these elaborate plans. It's just foolishness. I don't have time to engage in that kind of craziness. Do people get together and conspire to commit crime? Yeah. But it's hard to do that. If you understood what planning that takes to develop a real good conspiracy to commit a crime, it's hard. And most of the time, it's going to fail really quick because someone will tell, someone will screw up. The more people you have involved, the more likely someone's going to tell or make a mistake. So, no, that's a conspiracy. No, it's not a cover up. I honestly think it was probably, um, it wasn't a robbery in the classical sense. I think maybe someone was tipped off that the old lady had some cash stashed somewhere. Someone went in to take cash or take jewelry, and I think shit went bad. And then the abduction was probably an afterthought. That's what I think. I think it's that simple. This bullshit about Bill Clinton's fixer and all of that, that is just so nutty. It's nutty. I guess if you ain't got nothing else to occupy your day with, that's probably something that's good, I guess, if that's all you got. But that sheriff at this point is a politician. So, you know, it's doesn't look good for the old lady. I feel bad for her. Feel bad for Miss Savannah Guthrie, and I don't even know her. I don't know. I mean, could it? I need well, that question about the camera could have just been sloppy work. Who knows? And TMZ isn't helping matters, but they're making bank on. No, I don't think the sheriff was paid. Yeah, I run into people that are prosecuted. Thank you, Cher. Um, Someone wants my thoughts on the Letcher County Sheriff's case, and that's a good example here. The sheriff's case is a good example. The Amber Spradlin case is another example of bad police work. There's politics involved in that Letcher County Sheriff's case. There's a lot of people that's got their hands dirty. Apparently, there was a club, and I have good reason to believe this is true, that they had some type of a club to where everybody could go and relax and enjoy some adult companionship. And I believe a lot of people in that county are involved. And this sheriff, I don't think he was batshit crazy when he did what he did. I think he did what he did with purpose and intention. And now his lawyers are doing what lawyers do. They're trying to save this guy's ass. And so the only way to really save him that he's some kind of mental nut job. And it doesn't hold water, but under the state of Kentucky, you just have to show reasonable evidence or convincing evidence that he had a mental health issue. You don't have to claim that he was crazy. Crazy is different. Crazy is different. Under the law, to avoid the death penalty, you just have to prove that there was some kind of crazy going on. Now, if you look at those videos that's on the internet, it's difficult to say that there was some kind of crazy. You would have to prove that there was some kind of history of mental health issues. But based on his outward appearance, the guy was elected sheriff a couple of times. So, you know, I don't know. I think the sheriff needs to go away for a long time. He did what he did. He shouldn't have done it. And there's nothing that you could say if all of the rumors are true. If the sheriff, if if that judge was messing around with the sheriff's daughter, if even if that's true, the sheriff isn't a normal person. He's a sheriff. He has a different duty than the regular guy. He has put people in jail for doing what he did. So he needs to go to jail. He needs to go to prison for a long time. I don't care. There is no excuse that you could give me, even if all those rumors are true, which the family says they're not. There's a lot of rumor out there that the judge was involved with the sheriff's daughter. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, but see, he is not someone else that's normal, right? I can understand that. I you're still gonna go to jail. There's ways to deal with that kind of issue. The sheriff had disposal. He had access to the legal system. He had intimate access to the legal system. That sheriff knew exactly what he could have done to the judge. So so he knew how to take care of that judge through the legal way. So, that's a good idea. Actually, that's probably one of the better ideas to structure my live to where I can just talk and pull out top news stories and talk about them. It's a good idea, and I think I'll do that on my podcast. But I have to focus it. We have to talk about it. If I do that, very good idea to have a update, like scour the news for the night and give a 10 or a 15-minute podcast about the top current events of the day. I like that idea. I like it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I think I actually might do that. 15, 20 minutes, maybe a half hour, and talk about current events of the day or of the night. It'd be a night thing. We do it day to day. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, not a bad idea. So, yeah, that sounds like something actually I could do. Mm. But the sheriff in Letcher County needs to go away, and, I don't think he's gonna get the death penalty. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'll give that some thought. I watch a lot of Megyn Kelly and some other news broadcasters, and they have a little 15 or 20-minute update, that they put out every day. Um, yeah, that's actual, and I mostly would be giving my opinion and some of the facts that we know, and I think that's probably not a bad idea. Actually, it's a good idea. Yep, I like that, and could tie it into the stuff. Now, yeah, when I do videos, sharing video, the thing about sharing vi did you interview with her? Yeah, it would be hard to yeah, that would be I think that would be a tough interview. Doing video well, Mickey Steins has a good lawyer, but and they're just being a lawyer, right? They're just trying to save this guy's ass. Now some of the lady, his wife, I don't think as much. I heard her argue a couple of cases, and in this case, uh, she argued a bond reduction, and it was the worst legal argument I've heard. It was terrible. I mean, as a lawyer, if you don't have much facts, then you pound the law. That's an old saying. If you don't have facts, you pound the law. If you don't have the law, you pound the facts. And I felt embarrassed for her making the argument that she made for a bond reduction. It was not good. It was bad. But sometimes that's it. You pound the podium. Yeah. So, but they're doing what they do. They're trying to save him from, the death penalty, which, I don't think he's going to get it anyway. But to say he was crazy, mentally ill, no. Now, was he under some kind of anxiety? Probably so, because the feds was looking at him. He had just given a deposition in a federal case, so he was nervous. And undoubtedly, there was some funny business going on, I believe. Yeah, he was purposeful when he walked in. Yeah, the Mickey Steins case in Letcher County. That's what I'm talking about. Willis. What I'm talking about. How did she interview you, K Rob? What were you doing at the time? Were you running for office? And was she with a local affiliate, or was she on the national news, or how did you get to interview with her? Oh, okay. Yeah. Damn, K Rob, they need your help down there, man. They need some conservatives down that way. They need some help. That last didn't they lose a big Republican seat down that way somewhere? Like, I think they haven't lost it, like, in 40 years or something. Alright. I told Elizabeth I'd pay her some money here. Let me see if I can do that while I'm speaking. Yeah, yeah, it looks you know, and I think the analytics from that last little special election, of course, special elections, they don't bring out the voters, but it looks like a lot of the people that voted Republican, particularly in the minority community, flipped around, and that doesn't look good moving forward. But I can never do this. I guess it'd help if I had my glasses. I don't know where the hell they are. Oh God, I got to get ready to go run. Hey, will you send me that request? I don't see it.
I sent it.
Like through a text?
No, this morning on Cash App.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought it was through text. All
I
right.
figured your money was.
Huh?
I said I figured that's where your money is.
Well, some of it, not all of it. All right, baby. I love you. Everything all right? What's your mommy doing?
You woke up about an hour. Well, really woke up an hour ago. We walked in there. She was laying on the couch. Made some bacon and toast.
Okay. All right, baby. All right. Love you.
Lovely.
Guys, come on now. This is your show. I was waiting on my client to call me back. It doesn't look like she's going to do that. I could make a call to this insurance company. Arg. It's just a pain in the ass. I got to go get my glasses because I can't call the insurance company without my freaking glasses. Thank you, Myra. Yeah, that's what she'll do, right? She'll call me. Jordan, I might be live this afternoon. Oh, I see. No, I'm going to make it Wednesday. Pizza is Wednesday. Thank you, beers. Y'all got to push this stuff out. Let's get some more viewers on here. Let's see if it works. Ding. It worked. All right, let's do this one more call before I go and get ready. I'm dreading. I'm gonna do 7. Yeah, I saw a little bit about those officers things. Was that a was is that the same one with that trans person or no? There was some kind of trans person, I think. Some What kind of help do you need, buddy? Come on now. Don't just tell me everybody needs a little help. Help me, help me, help me. Everybody needs a little bit of help, guys. Come on now. Okay. And so what'd you do to have a police pull you out at point? What'd you do? They don't just walk around and do that. What I noticed about police, now we got a lot of problems with police, right? There's a lot out there. But now I'm a fan of police. I think we should I think we should have a lot of police out there. I think we should have more police, better trained police than less police. So I'm gonna say that right now. However, what I know about the police, even with a lot of their problems, there's a lot of people that don't need to be policing. They're untrained, they're poorly trained, most of them. The standards in a lot of these police departments are not very high. But after having said all of that, I still don't even know a bad police officer just randomly pulling people over at weapon point. I don't know any police officers, and I've known a lot of them that just cruise around looking to pull some dumbass out of their car. I don't know of any. So must have been something maybe you did. Well, when they get calls, they get their hackles in an uproar. Come on, Beers. What's your issue? What's up, Rich? Falsely accused. Everybody's falsely. What's up? Everybody's falsely accused until they're not, right? Everybody's falsely accused until they're exonerated. Everybody. Everybody's false. So, you know, hold on a second, folks. Let me take my I gotta take my morning medicine. I'll be right back in like 2, and I'm gonna get my glasses. I gotta make a call. Let's do this. Yeah, Big Will. I'm sorry for your luck there, buddy. But if they had a call, 2-2, Chuck Woolery, 2-2. That used to actually, he was one of my favorite hosts. He was very, very good. Um, oh, come on, Big Will. Come on, guys. Let's look. I haven't got the first comment over on my YT page. Are y'all alive over there? What's up, Cotton? Here it is. This Eugene.
Hey, Eugene, it's Stacy Blankenship.
Hey, Stacy. I'm waiting on her. I called, left a message, waiting on her to call me back. I promise you, I'll call you back as soon as I hear something from her. But I did leave a message, and I'll call back in about 15 or 20 minutes. But I'll holler at you. I want you to keep.
Sounds good.
I am working on it.
Thank you. Okay, thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
Come back.
Someone gave me a subscription. Thank you, guys. Listen, if you like what I do, and the subscription is the best way to do it. The taps, I like them. The follows, love them. The gifts, if you want to do it, that's fine. But if you really want to support, um, buy me a cup of coffee or a subscription would be good. I love the subscriptions. I'm trying to reach 300. That's a goal I've got. So help a brother out. That helps me do what I do. Arg. So here we go. Eric, what's your issue, my brother?
This call may be recorded for business purposes, including quality assurance, training, and record keeping. The information you provide will be used for our business purposes, including handling claims, issuing payments, underwriting, and providing you products and services. We retain personal information according to our retention schedules, which are established by our business needs, along with legal and regulatory requirements. To opt out of the sale or sharing of your personal information, please go to www.statefarm.com and click on the Do Not Sell or Share My Personal Information link. For more information, please go to www.statefarm.com/privacy. State Farm Claims, this is Jane. How may I help you?
Hi, Jane. This is Eugene Cisco. How you doing this morning?
I'm well, thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Well, I'm doing fairly well. I'm calling to see. I think the last time we had spoke, there was an issue with my EIN number. Apparently, you all might have had the
Right.
wrong one. I'm wondering if that check was processed and if we can get that.
I actually sent you an email today, this
Oh.
morning. Unfortunately, I can't issue the payment until I have a W-9 on file, and we can update your tax identification number or your social, however you want to do it, with accounting.
Okay, I thought you all had that. I've dealt with State Farm before. I can't believe you
We
all.
have it, but it has to be updated for some reason. So I can't issue the payment. I tried multiple times with your social and your
Jesus.
tax identification number.
S-
So I sent you an email of what they need. They just need the W-9.
So the W-9 will probably have the same information that the old one has. So I'm curious, like, what's that going to do?
Well, I'm going to send it to accounting, and they can update the system officially, I guess.
Well, that's nutty. All right.
I'm sorry.
Well, don't apologize. I'll get that out to you. Can I just send that to through the email on
Yes,
the
sir.
one that you sent me without going through a portal?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes, you can.
All right. So I'll just respond. I'll have my assistant Donna send one out to you straight away. How long does that normally take? Because my client, I would like to get him his money.
Probably up to a week.
All right. I'll try to get that done today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
See, they have my damn information. Like, they have it. So I'm going to send them a W-9 that's got the same damn information on it that she has. And that's what they do. These insurance companies, State Farm is the effing worst. The worst. Ugh. Sorry, Cody. Yeah. I mean, it's the same goddamn thing, right? So I'm gonna call Donna and ask her if she can do that. I mean, it's the same freaking information. State Farm, boy. Like, oh my God, Donna. I guess if it's just the form, but it's gonna have the information's the same. So when they say they're gonna update it, they're gonna update it to the same damn number. It just doesn't make any sense to me, but I'll do what they say to get my client his money. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, Rob, it is a pain in the ass. Eric, I cannot talk to you if you're going to try to warehouse every God blessed claim you've got. If you really want me to study on your issue, book a call, man. I promise you. I mean, you personal injury and other claims, no. Just book a call, man. I'm happy to help you, but you've like for a couple days. I don't mind to listen to you with one issue, but I'm not going to be on here for. Yeah, thank you, Eric. Just that's the best way to do it because that way I can be prepared. If it's something I think I can handle, I don't mind to talk. But you're like sound like to me, you've got 5 or 6 different things going. I'm not doing that this morning.
Hey,
What's up?
just sent you that big long message.
I saw that just now. I thought, well, let me look here and see. All employment now.
Place wants to know everything.
Well, I don't know what they mean by all employment. I've been working for myself for the past 10 years. So that's just self-employed. I mean, I don't know. And well, of course, I've worked some for would be solutions. That might be what I mean. Those are the only 2 things.
Well, they want everything you've done.
Like they want all my car wrecks for the past 10 years and all that?
No,
Oh.
not like that. Just every job, like state prosecutor's office.
Well, see, 10 years ago, I wasn't with the prosecutor's office. I've been gone.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've been gone from the prosecutor's office. I would say I think it's been 10 years since I've been gone from there.
In reverse chronological order, details of employment history include all employment as an attorney for the past 10 years and all employment for the past 5 of any occupation, regardless of compensation.
Yeah, I would say self-employed for the past 10 years. All the work I've done, I would put Allie, put ASAP consulting. And then, which, I don't know what they mean by that. I was just, I don't know how to say what I was doing as a counselor, substance abuse and addiction counselor. And with Anna, same thing, substance abuse addiction counselor and manager, program manager. That's what I'd put for Anna's company. And that's it.
And solutions, that would be under solutions.
Yeah, solutions recovery, program manager and counselor, ASAP consulting, counselor. Those are simple. Complete address for geographical places of employment. Yeah, that's Pike County. I mean, if that's all they want, hell, I ain't been nowhere. Makes me sound boring.
I don't know if they want definite addresses, like where the office is now, or.
Well, I would put like the ones we've had, like the one we currently have, and the one we had on. I can't even remember their names or their addresses. The one we had. Well, since you've been with me, we've been 2 or 3 different places.
What was that, 2nd Street?
There was one on 2nd Street. Was you with me in the blue house that we had, or was it the pink house mostly? I can't remember, Donna.
Can't remember.
My damn 499 Hamley Boulevard was the one I had the most recent. I think I went from 499, and then we went downtown to where the old bank was.
Building.
Yep, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm not even counting that little time. I'm not counting that one we had on 2nd Street. But if you want to throw it in there, throw it in there. And that's
I'll
it.
see if I can get by with just putting pipe moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else was it? Oh, when are you gonna do your
your driving history thing?
I'm gonna try to get Anna to go with me, and I'll probably do that today. I'll try to do that today. I'm gonna get out of here about 11 and go run. And then once I do that, I'll probably try to see what she's doing and maybe go out there and do that.
Okay, that's 5 year or more with a clearance letter. And they want months and days. I've got to, for your college stuff. All I know is Moorhead, your degree is dated December 19th of 92.
Okay. All right.
But UPike, I don't have any idea when it starts or.
Well, on my U-Pike, I would say, because I went there in August of 79. And then I graduated.
Does it start like mid-August or?
Yeah, and the hell, yeah, give them some kind of damn date. I mean, what does it matter? I would say like August the 4th. Just pick a damn day. I don't care. August. I mean, honestly, August of 79 is what I know when I started up there. And I graduated in 84, May of 84. I would say it was usually right around back in the day. It used to be Mother's Day. They graduated on Mother's Day.
It's what, the 10th or something?
Yeah, it used to be Mother's Day. So whatever that is.
I'll use that.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to go back and check all this stuff.
Yeah, but give them a
Really
date
not.
because I know it was a big, now they don't do it on Mother's Day anymore, but that's the way they used to do it. Because my mother and father showed up and everything, it was a big deal.
So Moorhead, your graduation would have been December 19th. So when would,
I started.
what month would you?
Well, I started those. Classes. I got that job in 87. I think I started my classes in 88. I would just pick a damn. It was probably the fall. I would say probably August.
We'll go with August.
Yeah, because
And it wanted to know if you had any online classes and if the majority of your credits came from online.
oh Lord, no.
Well, I put no.
Yeah, we didn't do online courses back in the day. No.
I think so. I put no on.
See, and that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny they asked that so that you know what they're thinking, that online ain't as good.
Yeah, that crossed my mind.
That's exactly why they're wanting to know. If there's a lawyer or whatever that's had the majority of online courses, then they're going to scrutinize that a little more.
Yeah, that's what I figure.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
No, well, no, but that's the way. Oh, I don't know. Online. Well, now online is harder, I believe. It's different.
But it's so much cheaper.
It is cheaper. Yeah.
Some people, I mean, Amanda got her, she finished her,
Yeah, I think the problem.
bachelor's, I think online, and then she did all of her math.
Well, like for me, like the way that I look at online is you're accountable for all the information. So when you're sitting in a classroom, you can tell by the teacher a lot of times by what they think is important. And you can pick up cues when you're in a classroom. But if you're doing online, it's a little different, I think. Especially if it's not instructor driven, because some of these online courses are just, here's the material, you take a test. Those are the worst, I think. But anyway, yeah, luckily I didn't have to do any online back in the day.
But I don't know what else it's going to ask because it won't let me go far.
Well, that's fine. Just holler at me. Whatever you got. Yeah, but all of those, that's fine. I mean, they'll let us know. I think they're just looking for a placeholder. They ain't calling Moorhead, or they're not going to call. No, I mean, I cannot imagine. And even if they do, if I'm off a month, I just don't think. and they've got
I mean,
they'll
there's
have
a lot
my
of people that have scrambled to come up with all that.
and they'll have my transcripts. So I'm not sure, I don't
Um,
they don't ask for my Moorhead transcripts, do they?
no, they didn't.
Yeah,
They just
okay.
asked for the law school. So
All right, well, good.
that has been emailed to them. So when I get through this application, if I can get through that, I'm going to put all your stuff because they want it mailed, certified mail.
Okay.
That's why I asked when you're going to get your driving record.
I'll
That
try
way
to
I
get
can
that
put the cover
today.
sheet and put everything together.
I'll try to get that today. And really, this is just a barrier for the money. They really want the money. So
yeah, well, I'll mail it all together in one packet with the cover sheet and your everything that we've got here.
All right.
Your certificates of good standing and all that.
All right. Well, I'll go to the DMV and see if I can get that record and then that letter. And what's that? You sent me a text about what that letter's called, right?
I think it's called a clearance letter.
Clearance. Okay. All right.
Yeah, they'll probably know over there. So.
Well, I'm excited. We get that done. I'll be a daggone Pennsylvania lawyer now.
Will that be like a permanent?
Yep. I'll have to keep up with
membership.
Yeah, I'll have to keep up with CLEs and everything.
Oh,
yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
CLEs.
Oh, and I'm getting ready to start those again here in about a month. So I'm getting ready to start those again. All right.
Well, I'm trying to sort out all of Megan Carson's. Man, they've got a lot of medical stuff.
Yeah, I talked to her yesterday.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, I talked to her yesterday, and she said she sent you a bunch of stuff. I told her we were working on it. And just so.
Yeah, well, they sent it to me on through email with.
Oh.
When I couldn't open the disc.
Yeah.
She sent it to me through email, so I've got it all printed off and looking at that. Plus, Megan had sent me all the explanation.
The EOBs and all that
from State Farm and
stuff.
Okay.
Well, I'll leave that in your capable hands and let you figure that out. I can't do that. Also, Shelby called. So we need to get her, and I told her to send those to us for her PIP. There's a $15,000 med pay. And all we've got to do is show her medical bills. And I told her to be sending those to you. All we need is medical bills. The insurance adjuster said they would send me an email. I haven't looked at it yet. Maybe if you can look at my email and see, and maybe get her some money coming in from her, because it's her, it's Geico. Geico was her insurance company. I still don't think the other people had insurance. There was some.
Oh, that's the one that it took them a while to figure out who hit her.
Yes. Yeah. And I don't think they had insurance, but she had under insurance. So we're good there, but she had med pay. So we just have to get her medical bill. So I told her to be getting those to you.
Okay.
If she hasn't already, I'm just letting you know, the adjuster called me yesterday and said he would send me an email.
Okay.
And that's the most direct way. He said that's the best way. Just send them to him directly. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Donna. We'll get this application. I'll try to go to DMV today and get those documents.
Okay. Well, let me know when you've got them, and then I'll come over and pick that stuff up.
All right. All right. Thank you.
All righty.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Cool. What's up, DD? Nothing. Just this application. Oh my God. Marianne has worked on it. Donna now is taking it over since we've had to deal with this close, and Marianne's got her hands full. So holy shit. Donna, Oh, son of a bitch. I didn't, did I? Thanks, Renee. I'll ask her again. But see, I hate to ask her about a whole bunch of stuff. I heard you. Okay, I got you guys.
Yeah.
I forgot also one more thing. You can set this Cody's State Farm. State Farm needs us to update W-9. When you do that in State Farm,
I should be able to.
yeah, for some reason they've got all that information. Just go ahead and make sure you put Solutions Recoveries EIN on it, and they said they need that, so send it directly to them. She sent me that email. Her name is Jane. I've got
Okay.
it's in my email.
Okay. I'll look for it.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
I know y'all are laughing at me. Quit laughing. Quit it. Stop it. Donna, Marianne, Elizabeth. No, that's a myth. Thank you, niche lady. Appreciate it. Thank you. That's a myth. Uninsured, you pay for that. If you have to use it, as far as I know, as far as I know, it will not increase your insurance. Like it doesn't. I've been doing this a long time and I have not had a client come back to me, and they would in this town where I do a fair amount of this. Someone would have told me that my insurance went up. You pay for that. It's like having health insurance and being afraid to go to the damn hospital. That is absolute nuttiness. You pay for the uninsured, underinsured. If you get hit by somebody that doesn't have an automobile, doesn't have coverage, that's why you get it. I've never seen it go up. I have never seen it go up. Never. And I've used it myself. I've had to use uninsured a couple of times. Doesn't go up. Well, increase and price increases are different than just saying if you make a claim. Most times you make a claim. Now, if you're at fault and you're speeding like a daggone hoodlum and you're reckless, yeah, your insurance gonna go up and it should. No, your insurance will not go up just because you make a claim. That is a myth. Now, if your insurance goes up coincidentally because maybe there's a regular rate increase and it happens to coincide with an accident you well, niche lady, I'm just telling you, niche lady, that's not been my experience. Most of my clients, when they use their UIM, have not ever come back to me and said, you made my insurance go up. I've never had anybody say that. Yeah, Vegas and some of these bigger cities are the insurance is ridiculous. Something I think that's the next thing that has to be addressed by our political leaders. And I'm just going to put it out here, and this is not a political statement, but I guess you're going to take it this way. Mr. Trump has shown the balls to do things nobody else has been willing to do. Now, hopefully, after all this other shit with tariff wears down and we realize that tariffs are not the end all because they're not, the world hasn't collapsed. He needs to get the balls to say to these insurance companies, we got to do something to benefit the American people because that's the next big thing. They're doing it with health insurance. They will fix the health insurance. But so hopefully that's the next big thing. Yeah. lady. No. It's Yeah, homeowners, the whole insurance industry needs to be overhauled. But I think the health insurance is the next big one. And I think, from what I read, there is a lot of real bipartisan support for like a $2,000 or whatever the number, but I think they're floating out a $2,000 credit to give you a credit, an actual dollar for dollar credit and let you buy your own health insurance. When that happens, prices will immediately fall because these companies are going to be wanting your $2,000. Prices will fall. That's what's going to happen, I believe. And then after that, they're going to fix the home insurance and all of that, I think. Thank you very much for that. I'm honored. Proud to follow me. Thank you. Tell your friends. So, um, yeah, I think that's going to be the next big thing that gets tackled is homeowners and auto insurance. Not so much about auto insurance, but homeowners insurance are probably going to be the next big. But we've got to get our hands around as a country, and hopefully our politicians got enough backbone to deal with this health insurance because the health insurance issue we have now is not working. It was never going to work. Obamacare was not ever designed for a long-term fix. It wasn't. You look at it, it wasn't. And these subsidies, you can't keep paying subsidies. We cannot afford it. And the only reason it's happening is because no politician is saying stop. They're afraid. Yeah, everybody's too afraid to say something about it. But I think the solution is once the government gives people a credit and lets them purchase it on their own, these health insurance companies will understand that they're not getting subsidies anymore. Yeah, they're gonna have to do something with Social Security. The next thing they're gonna do with Social Security, I suspect, Social Security will probably increase the age limit. They'll probably increase the age limit, and I think they'll do away with that, spousal benefit. I think that's one of the things they're probably gonna do. But now they've gone a long way already by cutting out a lot of the fraud. They're cleaning up the rolls. They're getting rid of all of the people that don't need to get it. I mean, there's a lot of money when Doge and people don't like what Elon Musk did. A lot of people hate it. But what he did was expose a lot of the extra expense, the fraud, and that's a big deal. So, I mean, I think it's working. They've always cried insolvency, though. I mean, it's a Ponzi scheme. Bernie Madoff Bernie Madoff had a Ponzi scheme. Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. If and they should put a cap on your earnings, right? If you're a multimillionaire, I'm sorry, you paid into it. I get it. I get all that. But if you're a multimillionaire making a shit ton of money, maybe you don't need it. Now, you're entitled to it. You earned it. But there's a point at which you're like, "Ah, man, do I really need this? I don't know." That's something too. But if you were developing a business model today and you designed it just like Social Security, if you were designing an investment program today and you fashioned it just like Social Security, your ass would be prosecuted for a Ponzi scheme. You would be prosecuted for a Ponzi scheme because that's what Social Security is. Except in the classical sense, a Ponzi scheme, you know it's not going to work out. I think in the beginning, they probably thought Social Security would work out. And there's too many people now taking and not enough people putting in. And I think they need to constrict the amount of people that are taking. And I think the widows. So, oh my God. All right, guys, I got to get my process going to where I'm getting ready to go run. I still drive. Yes, I do. I still drive. My visual issue is one of reading and not necessarily of seeing. Yes, I hold. Well, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's done, so you have to deal with what is. Oh, yeah. So, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Toeless, socks, Brooks, glycerins. Niche, I would love to do that. Back, I forgot.